In today's astrophotography adventure, we are going somewhere that I haven't been to in over 2 years to take astrophotography pictures. That's right, if you guys remember, I'm going to my lake house. The time that I photographed Saturn, one of my first videos, I'm going back there and I'm very excited to get things rolling. I'm gonna finally be doing some deep sky astrophotography and bringing my entire telescope setup to photograph the Dark Seahorse Nebula, an object in the Milky Way that's only possible to take a picture of from a dark sky site, such as my lake house, not from these skies here in the backyard. I'm very excited to get rolling on the road because it is 12:48 and just under 2 hours we should be there, and I'm very excited to get set up. So without further ado, guys, let's just get rolling into this video. My name is Tanner from AstroTan, and come along with me as I photograph the Dark Seahorse Nebula from one of my favorite shooting locations in the entire world, my lake house. Let's get rolling. So here we are, and you guys know I love this place, but I have one gripe to tell you guys about this. We're in the middle of kind of like a forest here by a lake. The bugs are ridiculous, but that's besides the point because it gives us dark skies, right? Yes, and let me do a quick rundown of why I'm here specifically. So we've owned a lake house for quite a few years now, almost over 20 years actually. And before I got into astrophotography, this place used to be a lot darker than what it actually is now. It still is really dark, but I used to go here every single summer. But this lake house is on a giant lake that spans roughly 3 miles in diameter, and here it is pretty stupidly dark at night. Roughly around a Bortle 3/4, and that is perfect for any Milky Way photography and getting some deep sky astrophotography with that, photographing some dark reflection nebulae. And those, by the way, are targets that you can't do at, for example, a place like my backyard, which is in the suburbs. But we've had this lake house for roughly 20 years, and I've gone here every single year to do things astrophotography and non-astrophotography related. Last year, we didn't do any astrophotography here because the smoke and the clouds just weren't in my favor, and we also had a tree fall on our house, so that wasn't very nice, but we got that fixed, all good now. But this is kind of where I got my journey started. I mean, I really got things kicking off here. In 2021, I remember taking pictures of the planets here very late at night with the skies really dark, and I also learned how to scan the sky here. So with all the fishing, the tubing, the grills, and all the family that has come here to make my experience at this lake house once in a lifetime, I'm here to say that I am back to do more things that I enjoy, like taking astrophotography shots. Though not a lot of people are up here with me right now, the stars will be with me tonight, and I plan on taking my rig out here to get some great astronomical images of the Milky Way and of my deep sky target of choice, the Dark Seahorse Nebula. So on that note, let's not waste any time and let's get set up because I have a lot to unpack for you guys. Let's hit it. Side quest, but first let's see if we can catch a fish. They like to hang out underneath this boat, so come on, let's see what we can do here. Oh, almost had him. All right guys, I see a fish. He's right here. He's gonna eat this thing. Set the hook and got him. And it's as simple as that, guys. Simple as that. Oh my God, okay. Wait a minute, hold on, little guy. I haven't done this in a while. Yep, we just caught a little fish to start the day. Come on, man, can I unhook this thing? Hopefully you guys don't get grossed out by this. Yeah, not just an astrophotography channel anymore, is it? No, sir. All right, hold on, I'll take you guys with me. We're gonna let this guy go. All right, buddy. Have a safe trip back into the waters. I don't know about you guys, but I say we go catch some more before we start talking about the Dark Seahorse Nebula. We got this. Just one more cast. Oh, I'm getting bites, guys. I'm getting bites. Hopefully they're not bluegill. Guys, we have a fish on. Ready? 3, 2, 1. A bass. This feels like a bass. It's that easy, guys. We got ourselves another fish. Oh, this guy's looking. He knows that this guy's done for. Oh no. Oh, look. Look at that. Another fish in the books. That's 2 fish today. Impressive. Astrotan, astrofishing. All right, leave a name in the comments what we should name this dude. I'm thinking astrobass. Astrobass, astrotan, whatever, we're gonna set him go. All right, well, that was fun. We'll probably do some more fishing sometime after I'm done filming, because when I'm here, I like to fish all the time. But let's talk about astrophotography. So as you guys saw, we set up and we're ready to go for some imaging tonight, and you might notice that there's a lot of differences compared to my backyard. Probably the most obvious reason is that there are a ton of trees here. Unlike my backyard where I have no trees, here I actually have some obstructions, so I finally have some problems to deal with other than light pollution that pretty much every other person has to deal with. I'm sure many astrophotographers have to deal with trees, and I've never had to. So, well, I've been here many times, but this is my altar area where I have to deal with trees and obstructions. So of course this means that I have to set up somewhere strategic in the yard, but another problem is actually where the Milky Way is, because it's hard to take images of the Milky Way because it lies this way over by the piers. I'll show you. So the Milky Way lies around this side, which is kind of obstructed. And if you see my telescope over there, it's pointed in the opposite direction. And right here, you guys can see that I do have a lot of obstructions. So how do I get around? Well, the way I get around this is I shoot basically directly face up, which means I kind of shoot in the area where Polaris is and where Cygnus is. When I'm here in the summer and I photograph Cygnus, I can see it all night, which is good. But I unfortunately can't really do a lot of the Milky Way core stuff, at least with my telescope. With my camera, that might be a different story. So we're gonna try things out tonight. Maybe move around the setup a little bit to see what I can kind of get the closest to by looking at the Milky Way. So we'll see what we can get tonight. But man, it is a beautiful, beautiful evening for astrophotography and fishing, I guess, because we just caught 2 fish. Oh my God, I am totally gonna get eaten alive over here. And another perk is you hear a bunch of weird things. I don't know what I just heard behind me, but. So tonight I'm photographing the Dark Seahorse Nebula, which is located in the constellation of Cepheus, which is also very close to Cygnus. So you can see the logic of why I chose this target. It's roughly 1,200 light years away, and it also goes as Barnard 33. But this isn't really any typical nebula, and let me explain. Typical nebulae are what you kind of refer to as emission nebulae, the ones that kind of everyone photographs, the deep red nebulae with hydrogen alpha and oxygen 3 emissions. It's the most profound nebulae found in our Milky Way galaxy, and that's why it makes it so easy for us to image them, from dark skies to light polluted areas. We also have specialized filters to view and photograph these objects, so it makes them very easy. But what about the dark reflection nebulae? Dark reflection nebulae are not really the same thing, but they kind of are, but in the sense of they're not really illuminated by anything other than just outside stars. This makes photographing dark nebulae and reflection nebulae very difficult because they also emit wavelengths on all spectrums, not just hydrogen alpha or oxygen 3, where they have a specific bandwidth of light that we can photograph them. They're kind of like a black dusty patch in space, and the way we photograph this is with dark skies because that gives us the most contrast. We want to make sure that we can capture a star field and have the stars from the dark sky that we're imaging in illuminate the dark nebulae that we want to observe. So this is why taking pictures of dark reflection nebulae or just dark nebulae like this is crucial for doing this in a dark sky. And then let me tell you guys again, I have not ever imaged this thing, so I have no idea what to expect. Totally new target for me, so I'm kind of going in blind sight. I don't know how much exposure time I'll have to pile on. I have 3 nights here, 3 clear nights here at the lake house, so hopefully I can get a lot of things rolling here. Also, not sure if you guys recognize this, but this is exactly where I stood for my Saturn video that I looked absolutely like a baby from. So if you guys remember, we walked right down that path right there. And here we are 2 hours later, 2 hours, two years in the same spot, and there's a bug. I'm like, It's gonna be a massive problem, dude. Anyway, let's go down there. And so here we have my very traditional Apertura setup, my college setup if you wanna call it that. And the technique to take this beautiful picture is all in the telescope itself and the dark skies to be exact. Here we have the Apertura EDR60, which has a perfect focal length for this object. 360 millimeters, which gives me a nice wide field of view to photograph this object. Doing all the work other than the dark skies would be my camera, the Player One Artemis C Pro, which of course I'm shooting unfiltered tonight, which means I'm gonna let that sensor take in all the light with no filters attached. This means that I'm not using my traditional Optolong L Ultimate, I'm just using a UV IR cut filter, which basically means I'm going unfiltered for this shot. My Skywatcher Star Venture GTI is also going to pull in a lot of work, so hopefully we get all the things that we need tonight because the main event is just coming. It's almost time to get set up and I am very excited to get going because, dude, it's been forever since I have seen dark skies, so I'm trying to keep it all together and I'm hoping that I'll be able to find Polaris tonight before the sun sets because, you know how it is under dark skies. You can't see Polaris, it gets lost in the night sky. So my setup is right here, of course, and we're going to be shooting around this area of the sky here. Polaris is about right there and Cygnus rises kind of up here. That goes all the way around the sky like that, and the Milky Way is around here. So if I can get my camera set up to about right here, maybe get a cool time lapse of my setup, or if I move my setup about like right here and polar line right there, we will see what we can get because we do have quite the obstructions here, but I'm not complaining, don't worry. Not complaining. We'll get this all figured out. So without further ado, let's see if we can do a couple more fishing sessions and maybe see if we can catch some more fish. Peace. So as you guys can see, we got the fishing pole ready. The boat's all covered up because we will not be here tomorrow. We're unfortunately leaving early in the morning, so I have a grad party to attend to. But yeah, besides that, I'm really hoping that tonight's gonna be a lot better than night one because we had those clouds. But the forecast says it's gonna be great tonight, so no clouds whatsoever. With this new lens that I'm recording on, the Canon RF 16mm f2.8, this is going to be a lens that I'll be bringing on a dark sky trip next month that I'll be taking you guys with as well. And this lens is primarily for taking the Milky Way shots, but I also fear it will be replacing the kit lens that I've been using to film all my videos, which is the kit lens that came with my Canon EOS R50, which is what I record on. So we're gonna put this bad boy to the test tonight and hopefully get some good Milky Way shots. And then we're gonna run back here, bring the GTI back out, and set up and do my deep sky astrophotography. So it should be a pretty fun night, but I think I'm gonna go continue fishing for now. Alright, well, you already know I was complaining about the bugs, and now they're really bad. So, what's our solution? Hopefully I'll get sponsored, but it's off. Off. Deep woods, dry. But as you guys can see, it is pretty dark out here now, and it's almost time to get imaging and find Polaris. It's roughly like 35 to 40 minutes after the sunset, and it is really starting to get dark out here. So almost time to get things going, and I'm very excited to get shooting tonight. I actually don't know exactly where I'm gonna have to move my rig, and I haven't even seen the Milky Way yet, so I'm kinda, need to test things out, maybe move the rig around a little bit. So I'll check back with you guys once we're getting all that set and figured out. All right, guys, welcome back. It is nighttime, it is night 3, and it is very dark out here, and I have no idea what time it is. I think it's like roughly around 3 a.m. or something, and something that's really cool is that right behind me, I'm pretty sure that is the planet Saturn. So that is pretty cool because that's one of the first things that got me into this hobby. But anyway, it is a warm summer night here. The mosquitoes are really hitting me right now. and I really need to go to bed because it is getting very late. But I honestly can't really seem to get myself to go to bed because I just need to keep enjoying myself out here. We have been imaging the Dark Seahorse Nebula for the entire night after we did some Milky Way photography, so hopefully I'll post some of those pictures along with this video before revealing my image of the Dark Seahorse Nebula. And the same plan is as follows: 180-second exposures, unfiltered, letting in all that light that we need. You know, it's crazy because I'm pretty sure that these are more like Bortle 4, close to Bortle 5 skies, and regardless, the skies are still very dark out here, more than anything that I ever see at home, which gets me even more excited about my trip next month to Colorado, to Arches National Park, and all those other fun places that I will be visiting where it gets truly dark out there in the west. I cannot wait to get some outstanding Milky Way shots with this camera and get some really cool images for you guys to enjoy and videos along with it. Man, it is just crazy to see all the stuff out here. Cassiopeia, the Milky Way arch, which is right over here. But I feel like this video has come to a close now. You guys know what's about to happen. I'm going to show you guys my image of the Dark Seahorse Nebula. And before I go, I just want to let you guys know thank you so much for watching. And I'm truly going to miss this place. I know I'll definitely be back here maybe in a week or so. So I'm very excited, but the moon is going to be out, but that's okay. This place has given me an experience of a lifetime, regardless of the astrophotography hobby or along with it. It truly is something special to me in my heart, so I will never forget this place, no matter where I go with my life and with the astrophotography regime. So thank you, Lake House, once again for an amazing experience here under the stars, like you always bring me 24/7 all the time that I'm here. And until next time, guys, peace out. Clear skies.